Rattlebone Jones, everybody.
Spillit has a balcony. We have arrived. Tonight's theme was home, and that was hard for me. I've never been homeless, but I've never had a home. My family was nomadic. We moved a lot, maybe 12 or so different houses before I left for college. My dad had a job where we moved a lot, and we never lived near family. And usually we left behind a lot of friends, but there was always my mother and my brother and my father and me. Last week, my brother named our text thread the Core 4. And it fits. And no matter where we lived, whether we were riding high, whether we were up or down, we could always make a home out of things because we could always have Christmas together, even when our family was time zones away. There was one Christmas in Detroit. It was a tough Christmas, which you know, if you're wooing for Detroit. There was one bed between the four of us. The way that you keep your children believing in the magic of Santa Claus, you give them the bed on that Christmas Eve and take the couch. Even when times were hard, we always had a Christmas tree. And that year, our Christmas tree was about 2 feet tall. But we put it on a shelf by the front door. So it looked taller. Put the presents underneath the shelf. And the year I left my family, the year I became a man legally and left for college, was a hard year for my family. We had a lot of transition. Dad lost his job and got a new one. He was working too much to prove he was worth that job. And Mom had a new job and was working too much. And I had pretty much been run out of that state and didn't want to come back. But I did for Christmas. They had moved into a new home, a new house, one that I'd never really lived in. It didn't really mean anything to me. And so I worked at a bullshit minimum wage job to try to get presents for my family. And after I bought some presents, I had $24 left over. And I paid a friend of mine who was driving by that house $7 in gas money, which got me there. And I had $17 left over when I arrived at my house on Christmas Eve to be with the Core 4 in their new house, which didn't really feel like a home to me. And when I came in on Christmas Eve for the first time in my life, there were no lights, and there was no tree, not even a bullshit tree to put on a shelf. And there were no Christmas decorations. And life had just beaten my family down. It was too hard that year. But I still had $17 left in my pocket. And when Mom went to bed that night, about 8:30, I looked at my brother and I said, let's get a Christmas tree. And he said, nobody's selling a Christmas tree this late on Christmas Eve. And I said, somebody is. And they want to sell it so bad, we might be able to get it for $17. So we got in his bullshit little car. It was called a Ford Aspire. It was like worse than an Escort. It looked like a red roller skate. Which was okay for the Christmas season. And we rode, and he put in a record from this mysterious widow whose husband had killed himself. Her name was Courtney Love. It was the grunge era. And we listened to such Christmas classics as Dog Parts, which has lyrics such as, someday you will ache like I ache. And I was feeling Christmas right there. She had another song about like, somebody give me, kill me pills. So, I mean, we were bringing the Christmas spirit. We found this little dude on a lot. He had 3 Christmas trees left. And one looked like the sorry-ass Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Nobody had bought it all year. And the other one looked worse than the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. But there was another one. It looked pretty good. I don't know why nobody had bought that tree, but it was a good tree. It wasn't a big tree. It's probably a little bit taller than this microphone stand. He was trying to get $15 for it. But since it was like 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve, I talked him all the way down to $13. And that meant I could share in the Christmas season, which is about giving. So I took that extra $4 and I bought 10 hamburgers at McDonald's for 39 cents each. My brother and I sat up on Christmas Eve and we ate cheeseburgers from McDonald's. We snuck into the basement. We got all the Christmas decorations. We put lights on that tree. In our nomadic journey, we bought a Christmas ornament from every place we'd ever lived. We put it on that tree. We put family heirlooms. I told the stories of our ancestors on that tree. It's hard to feel Christmas magic when your family shares one bed in Detroit. I'm not trying to be emotional, but I am. I could see through the door while my parents put together my presents. But my little brother fell asleep that night. And he woke up in the morning and he looked up at the roof and he said, I hear bells. He felt the magic. best Christmas I ever had. It was that year that we bought that tree. Because my mother, she wasn't 5, she was 50. And she woke up that morning, and she woke me up out of bed for the first time, feeling that magic. That there was still good in the world. And she said, Christmas really came. That was the day that house became a home. She lived there for 25 years, which was the first time my family had truly ever had a home. I hope each and every one of you feels that Christmas magic this year. And I hate to be telling this story because yesterday I tweeted out, God damn 98.9, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. What the fuck are you doing for Christmas?